Am I live on TikTok? TikTok is just lagging a little bit. And let's let people come on the live platform over there on YouTube. I will introduce myself in a minute. I suspect most of you know who I am. Oh, there we go. Is TikTok working? Hmm. TikTok is tricky. Something is happening. Definitely live on YouTube. I'll wait for a couple of questions to pop up. Oh, there we go. T Hawk. That's it. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Todd Standing. Thank you very much for tuning into my live show. I'm the man who takes people out into the field and has them either live interact with their eyewitness Sasquatch. Good evening, Barry. So we're going to talk about Sasquatch today. Good to see you. Thank you, Dreams. And we are definitely live on TikTok. That is absolutely fantastic. So as I start the show, some of the questions that y'all might have. Hello, Paul. Very nice to see you, sir. we can't seem to catch up on the phone often, but you're regularly here on live. I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Hello, Tony. Thanks for tuning in. So I'll be answering questions, and moderators like Paul and many others like him. Andy will be on today for sure. Um, Paul's been out in the field with me. Paul will be answering questions, or even hopefully more so, since Paul knows me and he's been boots on the ground out in the world. You know, Paul and dozens of other people like him on this live show today have been way out in the backcountry wilderness, where there's grizzly bears and mountain lions and moose, avalanches, and they've been way out there and went out to go and do this Sasquatch research. I'm so proud of these guys. So multiple people on YouTube can answer questions that have been answered before. And then I've got Nature Infused Ash, the lovely Ashley Ann on TikTok. She'll be answering questions and monitoring me on TikTok, which is absolutely fantastic. It's gonna be such a great year. I'm very excited. What am I doing right now? Well, two things. So my fitness is enormously important to me, like physical. Like I'm having trouble. I'm not walking around very well today because I just smashed my legs in the gym yesterday. Just went totally hardcore. Not so much with the weights like I used to do, more just like sprinter training and jumping training and box jumping and sled pushing, all these really cool new exercises that we have at our disposal now. Those of you that are old school, the old school weight training, it's almost like there's like a lot of that strongman and sprinter training and football training has come into the gym, and I absolutely love it. So my fitness is extremely important to me. I'm up leveling my health at all times as far as food that I eat, which is extremely important, and then just meditating, working on that spiritual awakening to manifest success this year for Sasquatch. I mean, it's no big deal, right? It's just the discovery of the most man-like primate on the planet that lives right out here in the forest. It's such a controversial topic, and I guess that's what makes me a controversial guy. Is there's a couple things. First of all, I went out, and I did this, and I went and filmed Sasquatch. Oh, Paul, you don't have this, do you? My goodness. Oh my goodness. I am just behind, so behind, and I'm gonna catch up right away. But yeah, I've filmed Sasquatch. I've taken people out that have seen Sasquatch, eyewitness Sasquatch, have had live interactions with Sasquatch of all kinds, and it's absolutely magnificent. Can you imagine in this day and age? This has been going on. Like, you guys need to understand. Back in the days when CNN, MSNBC, Global News, all these different news outlets had some credibility, back when they had credibility, I was taking, well, they never came out with me, but I was giving them footage. I was always, it kind of blows my mind. Like, what's it gonna, like, I took out Survivor Man. I take out all these PhDs, professors, judges, doctors, MDs, the highest heart surgeons, you know, wildlife officers, and they all come back, or they already knew maybe Sasquatch was real, but they come back, only 90% of them come back and go, oh, there was Sasquatch out there, and I'm very convinced that Todd is legitimate. You know, I'm having this level of success, which is absolutely astonishing. And I don't know, there's probably a million people that are more popular on TikTok, more popular on YouTube than me. I'm just maybe, I don't know, just not maybe that, I'm just not an amazing social media guy. but it shouldn't really be about that. It's about the discovery of Sasquatch, and this is the top research area that has ever existed. No one has ever done anything like this ever. I've never, and I can actually say that because I've worked with so many, the Apache, the Blackfoot, uh, yeah, you name it, like Cree, uh, Iroquois, like it just goes on and on, all the different, the Kootenai Indians, and none of them have ever, in their oral history, ever spoken about anybody having done anything like this. They always kind of had an equilibrium and a balance with Sasquatch. They're there, and we're here, and they just have these rules and stuff. It was never, even if you could say there was probably the odd person that had an exceptional relationship with Sasquatch as a native person before, uh, you know, white people, I guess you call them white people, colonized this continent. But there was never any like what we're trying to do, where I have all these dozens of people that are interacting, coming out, having their own kind of success, and moving this discovery process forward, like we have now. Like this is brand new. It's never happened before. Like the natives didn't know that the Sasquatch had a mid-tarsal joint, and the way the anatomy of the foot works, the way thankfully Jeff Meldrum has mapped out for us. There's lots of things that even with the help of the internet, we just know so much about the way they move, and based on primate knowledge with gorillas, chimpanzees, we can, and knowledge of anthropologically how people have survived and thrived in the wildest places in the world. We can apply that and deduce things about Sasquatch that's just never happened before. So it's a wonderful, magnificent time for this discovery process to come into place, and it's my honor and privilege to be at the forefront of this discovery. I absolutely love it. I love my job, and it's it's a wonderful gift. So Frank says, nice, got the beard growing again. Yes, I do. Hi from Sly, Montreal. Hello, Montreal. My kids and I show everyone your doc. Thanks, Tara. It's so important. Honestly, I'm really grateful. You're going to get some slack, right, Tara? How many times have you and your children, like, people give you that sideways look, like, you really think Bigfoot's real? And then you'd be like, I love this documentary, and you speak well of it, and ask people, what the hell is that guy supposed to do? He takes people out. He has DNA. He has, enough evidence to blow your mind in a court of law, to win a case in a court of law. And yet here he is, spinning his wheels. Am I spinning my wheels? I don't know. I feel pretty amazing about it. But James, can you get on my ass about if I get you the photos and stuff, James? Then I'll send a big group email to all the expeditioners and stuff, so everybody can, all the people beyond just the Patreon followers, all my supporters and Andy, just tons and tons of people. I'd like to do that. So I heard a Sasquatch. You heard a Sasquatch walking. Good for you, Paul. Is that in Oregon? So super cool, huh? Yeah, Sasquatch, and so Paul's going to say that confidently because you kind of know, you get it. Like bears don't walk like that. Bears are probably, you get moose, I guess, or elk. They're pretty big, but there's just something about the way a Sasquatch, you can hear it, the way it's crushing enormous amounts of brush. And when you can hear them walking, they're doing it on purpose. They're showing you that they're there. Believe me, they could hide, and you'll attest this. Even understand this. So okay, so Paul's out in the wilderness and he's hiking around. A Sasquatch could evade him, no problem. So if Paul, I would deduce, if Paul heard a Sasquatch walking, that Sasquatch approached him or allowed Paul to approach the Sasquatch. Either way, it was the Sasquatch allowing this to transpire, not Paul. And I'm saying this, no disrespect to Paul. I'm in the same category. I'm I'm an elite level wilderness tracker. Thousands of days of tracking experience, studying the wilderness, boots on the ground, thousands of days now, with working with the best in the world. And they own me. I can't verse them. So the Sasquatch let Paul come within distance, or Paul, or vice versa, and then made the sounds to walk. Because Paul, if Paul's saying I heard a Sasquatch, you didn't see him. So the Sasquatch didn't show himself to you, but it's still a really good gift. And it just, it's congratulations, Paul. That's awesome. I could see how, because I've had that experience many times. You can hear them running through the bush like a freight train, and it sounds very different than, I have a lot of experience hearing elk, moose, deer, bears, mountain lions running through the wilderness. Mountain lions don't make it. Mountain lions are scary when they run through the wilderness because you'll see them moving and you'll hear like no sound. And I've actually seen Sasquatch do that too. If they choose to, like literally, so I have two examples I'll give you. Um, I was doing some Sasquatch research. I don't know, probably a decade ago, 10 years ago, and I saw some deer down in a lower area getting some grass, but being very intuitive because they had high ground around them. And then so the deer over here and up behind them this way, I see a mountain lion coming across the ridge running at them. And the deer have their ears, they can't smell that way, so their ears are pointed that way. That's actually the way they'll work. Is nose this way, ears that way. That way they're protected from all angles. I'll tell you, deer have exceptional hearing. Like they have excellent, amazing, stunning hearing. I was watching, I was close to the mountain lion, I couldn't hear it. And it's running like full torque. I didn't hear a branch. Like I literally, I could basically, I kind of went to just hear myself breathe to make sure that my ears were working. Because I'm looking at this like a ghost running through the bush. And it literally jumps off this ledge, flies through the air, bites this deer in the back of the head. Deer just, drops and barely has a struggle. And it was kind of like a nightmare. Pretty scary. And I saw a Sasquatch do something very similar. Yeah, I couldn't hear him. I remember, like, guys, honestly, like my eyewitness accounting of me seeing a Sasquatch running through the wilderness is hard for me to believe because it was like the mountain lion. What happened was, had the angle, and the Sasquatch is coming through this particular area that I knew really well, and there was a spot where the trees were like piled up and all just a big huge mess. There was some snow load in the area, and the trees were just a complete freaking mess. So I'm watching the Sasquatch move along, coming across my plane like this, and I know that spot. And I'm like, well, he's gonna have to stop, right? Like there's no. First of all, I can't hear him, and second of all, he's gonna have to stop when he goes through this debacle of trees. Well, he's cruising along, he's running, and then he actually reached down, like he jumped up in the air, reached down like he was touching his toes, became like an arrowhead, and flew through this one particular open area that was probably like 9 feet off the ground. I had to go look at it after. I just freaking couldn't believe it. And even so, he squishes down to get into this position so he could go through this piece of open area in this one little section of bush. And then as he came out, he looked like a freaking some kind of like incredible long jumper or something. As soon as he came out, I could see his body extend, and because it wasn't easy for him to make that jump, he had to make this huge jump and squeeze through. And as he came through, I could see one arm come back for balance, and his legs just reach, and then he hit the ground. I didn't hear. I'd like to tell you guys I heard something. I didn't. I heard nothing. Like it's scary to be out there where you're hearing squirrels 30, 40 yards on a tree scuffling up a tree. And I couldn't hear a Sasquatch, this enormous beast. Like, it's bad enough for the mountain lion to not hear that. But the freaking Sasquatch, and come through and land like that and just keep cruising. And but the point of all this story is, if I didn't hear that Sasquatch that day, Paul, you wouldn't have heard that Sasquatch unless you wanted. And I bet you if I asked Paul, I'm just going to assume this because this is most likely what people say is, was it kind of like a booming, stomping? And I'm pretty sure Paul would say yes. So, and that's further evidence that they were doing that purposefully. All these factors that come into play. I have a very different perspective than most people when it comes to, what something like Paul would say he heard a Sasquatch moving. I also know Paul is solid. He's been trained by me. He spent time out in the wilderness with me. He's coming with me to Nia Bay, and isn't that like a month and a half away? That's pretty. 2 months, Paul. It's pretty close, huh? Oh, and James. Hey, look at that. I got Paul here. I got James. James is also coming to Nia Bay. So that's absolutely fantastic. Do I have any questions here? Ashley was supposed to school me on how to check my questions on TikTok. Flying Kiwi. Yes, that's all this should be about, getting the proof like you've done. Yeah. Is it all about getting the proof? Yeah. So the question here is, this should all about be getting the proof. But I guess it's all, you're kind of right. Because when I want to learn and grow and expand about Sasquatch, well, that's information that gets us closer to the proof. So, and then when I'm educating people about the reality of Sasquatch, that's also further getting us to the proof. because when I educate all these people and all these brilliant minds start working in conjunction with me in this cooperation that we have, then it works. It's all, the purpose is proof, really. Yeah. And even like amongst my expeditioners, which is in excess of 50 people I've taken out into the wilderness, way more than that, 60, 70. I don't really have the number. I know it's one number I have in my head is 29 people have eyewitnessed a Sasquatch on expedition with me. 29 have been like, whoa, there's a Sasquatch. That's a fantastic number. But yeah, it is all about moving forward, learning, and learning to teach too. When James or Paul or Ashley learns something out in the wilderness, well, I want to teach that to you guys. I want to be transparent and open about this discovery process, because Paul is in the United States, probably Oregon, I'm assuming, right? Um, and there's Sasquatch there, and and I teach Paul stuff up here in Canada, and they're so similar. He goes back to Oregon and he applies all these techniques and knowledge and the understanding that I've given him, and he goes and gets success down there, right? So, and each individual is totally different. So, Andy, hello, there's Andy. Boom, thank you everybody for tuning in today. Nice to follow you, Todd from Quebec. Thank you very much for coming in today, my friend. Pleasure to have you, all the way from Eastern Canada. I'm in Western Canada. Tara Ann, what's your thoughts on the guy that claims his grandpa killed one and it's cut up in his freezer? Oh, yeah, no. Jeff Meldrum actually went and investigated that one, and he said it's garbage. So, and I trust Jeff. I trust Jeff like I would trust Paul, like I would trust James, like I would trust Ashley. I've had a lot of good interactions with Jeff Meldrum, and we have a really good relationship. So, have you got any more new pictures of them? Yes, coming up my documentary, there's a couple new videos. They're pretty cool. How can I get your autograph? Ooh, that's not an easy thing to do. Go on an expedition with me. Um, I don't really even my expeditioners though, like most of my expeditioners don't have an autograph because we become friends. It's like, do you want an autograph from your buddy? Like we become bros or colleagues. So, um, yeah, I don't really do that, but I don't know. We'll work something out where I know a lot of people want that, and I think that you know this helps me understand. So if I had, I'll tell you guys. Well, I do. I'm really honored that I have this photograph of the legitimately real Patterson footage. I'm really honored that I have that, and I have Jeff Meldrum's photograph on it, and he has every right to have signed it because he's been devoted to this discovery process for most of his life, the vast majority of his life since he was a little boy. So it's an honor and a privilege to have this. If I had one of these with Bob Gimlin, which I don't, can you believe that I don't have Bob Gimlin? I met Bob Gimlin. That sucks. I didn't get an autograph from him. That really sucks. Yeah, but if I had one from Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, that would be so valuable to me. I would never part with it. No amount of money. That would be so valuable to me. I'm so grateful for the Patterson footage. So I can see as time goes on, because you're kind of humble about yourself. I'm just Todd Stanley. I don't know why anybody would want that stuff, but I can see as time goes on that people would love to have a nice autographed copy of the. Isn't that cool? Look at that, guys. That's Jane. That is so cool. So I've got Ashley's on here today. I just think it's so beautiful. I'm so proud of that stuff, and I have so many incredible, beautiful photographs of her. This is this is one that's not. It's got too much shine. So you have to take the plastic off of it. Look at this too, guys. Isn't that cool? That is so cool. Frick, I love that. Jane has had lots of interactions with my expeditioners. I think though the most profound, like the most amazing one, the one that the person that Jane really went after and changed Sasquatch research forever was Ashley. So Jane had a very spiritual experience with Ashley that I was a part of. Not I was not the one, but I was a part of it. I saw Ashley, and it was Jane just touched a heartstring on Ashley, and I was there, and I saw it happen, and I could feel it all coming into play, and it was just totally magnificent to see that happen, and that growth amongst us is just so wonderful. This is guys, make no bones about it. Telepathy is real. We're learning so much about telepathy every day. The quantum reality that we live in and how we're able to manipulate that through frequency manipulation is absolutely legit and real. I work with the top quantum physicists in the world that I've had connections to are literally trying to slowly warm people up to the reality of how we are so responsible for the world we live in and how we can affect it on a quantum level. And if you're not on board with that, if you think I'm woo, then that's cool. Uh, but that's really, I mean, who's got these kind of videos and photographs in the whole freaking world? Just me. Like nobody can touch what I've done. I am literally peerless, and I'm trying to tell you that because you should probably have a listen to what I'm saying because of my success. You can gauge that. Take people out, show them Bigfoot. I've filmed them dozens of times. I've 100 photos and video stills, and I have so much stuff. I have so many interactions every year. I mean, I saw Sasquatch like 6 times last year. I don't keep track anymore. John Bitternagel used to kind of do that with me, where John would be upset with me because had only seen a Sasquatch, probably only with me ever. He doesn't really talk about that. I'm not going to get into that too much. But the point is, John thought I was irresponsible to not document them. And then John did an expedition with me. And I saw a Sasquatch 3 freaking times. And I substantiated it. He wasn't getting the success. Randy Brisson was, but I was seeing them. And not only would I see them, and there was something, guys, you get an eye for this. I'll walk through the wilderness and I will show you a great horned owl that's blended into its surroundings, and I just see it. I can just pick it out because I've got so much experience with that. I could pick out the animals, not even moving. I could just see it. And I would see a Sasquatch. We'd go over there and the Sasquatch tracks on the ground. Or we hear a Sasquatch running off and go, "This is a Sasquatch." And then we hear it move away and John goes, "Oh my God." And we go over, there's beautiful tracks on the ground and John would lose his mind, clearly fresh, right? One track in particular, after I'd seen a Sasquatch, I precisely told him exactly where it was and how it moved. Precisely when we got over there, literally the water was filling in the track. It was just coming up and filling in the track. The track was disappearing. All the tracks were, and the track did exactly the angle movement that I said it was. So John knew that there were 2 occasions he could substantiate with tracks, and a third occasion where I'd seen a Sasquatch, substantiated with other evidence. And then I was able to express to John, like, dude, this is 1 week for me. I just saw a Sasquatch 3 times this week. This is my life. I've been doing this for, at that time, probably a decade. It's just time after time after time. I lose track. I'm not documenting. I'm not that guy that documents things. It's just not me. I'm really feel the energy, flow into it, and the footage I'll document. I'm really grateful for that. But yeah, that's it. You guys are lucky to be able to search for them. Are you kidding me? Like, what a freaking gift that is, right? This is a flying kiwi. Like, luck, like, blessed. Like, what a gift. But it's hard, This is not an easy path. If you think it's easy, if you think we don't get frustrated, we don't fail, fall flat on our face, all the difficulties we have, putting funding together, financially, trucks breaking down, e-bikes busting, trailers. Oh my God, guys. I was watching a documentary, a movie with Anthony Hopkins about, it's called the fastest Indian or something. He's got that Indian motorcycle that he gets up to 200 miles an hour, breaks world records. And the journey that it took him to get there, I was like, oh man, that's so me. The trailer falls off, the bike falls off, you get there, the bike might be all smashed, the transportation's all, it's just my life. It's like, oh my God, I just know that so much. Like even going to Nia Bay, like driving, I don't know how many hours, like 25 hours on the highways, and it's the weather's never great. You never know what the hell the weather's going to be like. I have trailers skidding sideways coming down hills, semis sliding off into my lane going into the freaking, it's like it's all for Bigfoot, guys. On the expeditions, something crazy, oh, this blows, that happens, a mouse comes into to my truck and chews the battery cables, blows the battery, and does like hundreds of dollars in damage, thousands of dollars in damage, right? It's all, the truck is dead now. We got to find a way to get out of there. And I didn't even know it was a mouse at the time. I took the truck out, got it back because we have an extra vehicle. But it's all for Bigfoot, guys. Like, you wouldn't believe the crap that we go through. It's over and over and over. And we've been, I'm not complaining. It's just, it's a hard road. That's why because it's so hard, there's nobody else in the whole world that does this. There are people that probably could, but they don't because it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's really, really dangerous. Um, but I love it. I do. I feel it's high risk, high reward. That's the life that I live, and I love it. Good evening. Do you know if anyone in Louisiana is seeing anything? This is Brandon Miller. No. Louisiana? No. I don't even remember hearing anything about Louisiana. Alabama, yes, they are in Alabama. Tennessee, yes. Texas, absolutely. Florida, absolutely, but not Louisiana. If somebody that's on Louisiana maybe pop up on the live show here, I'd love to hear about it. It's just I don't think so though. Oops, I saw a decent question. Dr. Green Thumb, New Zealand. Hey Todd, was watching some old Finding Bigfoot and saw that episode you were in. They didn't seem very convinced. Where are they? What are those guys doing now? And what have they ever done? They literally had millions of dollars for a TV show, a fake, fraudulent TV show. And you could probably give them a little credit if they went and did something, because it was a fake, fraudulent, lying snake oil production by their own terms, the snake oil production. So who cares what they think? What have they done? What are they going to do? Nothing. Like, they're just nothing. They'll continue to, in fact, it's very parasitical is how I feel about them. Like they're parasites. They suck off. They don't give much back. Like there's one, I'm not going to name his name. Like, he got a TV show deal. They flew him out to Alaska. The little fat turd shows up late, leaves early, and does a crappy job. And he gets a paycheck. And then I go to history. I go, why the hell you keep hiring that little? He's a turd. He's a fat little turd that's done nothing. Never filmed one. Maybe had a trackway his whole life. He found. Like, he's just a turd. He's had hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe millions of dollars come his way. He's giving virtually nothing back to it. And he keeps sucking like that. And I am complaining because if they hired me to do that, I'd show up early, stay early, or do all the work. They'd show up and have an incredible show. And after they all leave, I'd want to stay late and do more. I would make, guys, I would do, like, I become an excellent filmmaker. I made a documentary for Bigfoot. I became a documentary filmmaker for Bigfoot. None of these guys can say that. Like, Todd, why the hell do you make full-length feature documentaries? You have the #1 documentary of all time on the biggest network of all time, which is Netflix. Why the hell did you do that? Because I certainly didn't get paid for it. I did it all for Sasquatch, for this research, to move this discovery process forward. What can they say for that? How many people have they taken out? How much time have they spent out in the wilderness? And I give you an answer. So literally, it's parasitical. Well, where's Renee? Bobo, what the hell? He's been very critical of me. Heck with him. So what's he done? Is he ever going to make this discovery happen? Extremely unlikely. This is the difference between me, and I actually have to give Bobo credit because he's the only one I think is doing a damn thing. Renee's took the money and run, probably. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. She wasn't passionate about it. She didn't care. None of these people, like, I was there with these guys. They're meeting people that have seen Bigfoot. They don't care. They just do the show, get your money, collect your paycheck, and peace out. And I'm telling you this because I saw it. But saw beyond the deception, the dishonesty, and the lack of integrity with the film crew and all the people. That was so bad. So bad. None of those people gave two craps about the reality of this discovery. I would never work with people like that. Survivor Man doesn't work with people like that. At the very least, Survivor Man works with people that have a love and appreciation for the outdoors, right? And are doing things, that are beautiful for this planet. And none of them can say that. Just a bunch of money-hungry parasites. So, but yeah, so we're doing a lot. Like, this is really important. What I was saying was, again, Bobo being probably James Fay, probably being the most, boots on the ground around, he was the one on the show that was decently polite to me. And he said some stupid things that I've heard people say about me, and whatever. It's absolutely idiotic, stupid things. It made him look retarded. But he is out there. I have a colleague of mine who went out there with him. He is getting success with Sasquatch. But my point is, he's extremely unlikely to make this discovery happen. And I'm extremely likely to make. I've won. I win already. I've got the greatest collection of Sasquatch evidence in existence. Nobody can touch me with all the success and the eyewitnesses. I mean, I count that. It's outstanding what we've achieved, all of us. And I want you guys to take a second too. All you that support me here on the live show, Paul, James, Ashley, like, man, just take a second and be like, you guys are amazing. You've been an an integral part of my life and helping this discovery process move forward. And I'm so grateful for that, you guys. Really, really, truly. So thank you so much. And this discovery, we're precipitating this, guys. I freaking win. That's how I play. That's what I do. Anybody who's been out with me knows I win. I get it done. I'm a finisher. And in my mind, this is I've discovered Bigfoot. Whether you whatever side of the gambit you're on, it's done. Like John Bitternagel talked about that, and I loved it. People that see a Sasquatch discover it. I've discovered I'm taking other people out and sharing that and having them discover it. People that know are pushing forward with that discovery process. It's wonderful. So come on board with it. Learn about the discovery. Move forward with this discovery process with us because it's been done. I'm in it. Over my head, like they're real. Have a nice day. So Paul says, what are you hoping to accomplish on the Nia Bay expedition? Oh man. Well, every time I go there, Paul, they teach me, like my mentors. So Analia, Larry, and Brian, and other people, other elders teach me stuff. What I always want to do is, so first and foremost, fundamentally on Nia Bay, it's about maintaining that relationship because they have incredible stuff going on with Sasquatch all the time. The people in Nia Bay know Sasquatch is real. So I get to go talk with them. I get to go support them in their experiences and what they know. But it's also, I would think, so when the Discovering Bigfoot project expands, which it will for sure, into new research areas, Nia Bay is going to be top. Probably so the first place I would expand. So when this explodes, which it will, something big will happen, it'll explode, and I'll be see that space in my finger there? I'll be that surprised when the next explosion happens, when I'm international headlines all over again because I did something else amazing. Again, when that happens, we use that success that we garner to expand, to have Discovering Bigfoot research centers all over the place. And I have Brian and Larry can run expeditions for probably 10 months out of the year in Nia Bay. So educating the people, cooperating with the people, having them educate, teach me, which happens every year. I love it. I learn, I grow, I expand, and getting footage, getting more evidence. It's also important that I could precipitate success, not just here in radium, but I could show successful results like I did in the Adirondacks of New York. Amazing, had incredible success there. Montana, Washington State, Nia Bay, California, where I filmed the Sasquatch. So it's important that I'm showing repeatability and repeatable success. So I go out there, and also, Paul, when I go there, the first thing that happens is I have all these incredible people that know Sasquatch are real, and they hike and they do all sorts of wilderness stuff, and I've up-leveled them about Sasquatch so much. So imagine I go see you in Oregon, and I teach you all about your surroundings and your area. So you go from like a knowledge of a 5 to a 7, well, you're more likely to continue to garner success with Sasquatch. So when I go back next year, you weren't looking around as a 5 skill set, you were looking around as a 7 skill set. And the people in Nia Bay are absolutely that. So there's actually so much that I want, and I want to, so last year, we had a Sasquatch get within about 30 yards of us, but it was in the pitch black dark. We heard it walking in the creek, and then I went out to the creek. But the expeditioners were not greatly, they were happy with it, but they wanted more. So I can't say that was an excellent sighting. The year before that, I believe I didn't get any sightings. And then the previous 2 years, I got sighting first year, sighting second year, no sighting third year. Fourth year was last year. And, they heard a Sasquatch, but, I just have to leave it at that. I don't know what to say else beyond that. And there was mistakes that Bill, especially my expeditioner Bill, I was a little pissed at him because he was out of position to be close enough to hear. And after it was all over, he's like, well, I could kind of hear it, but I was in bad position. I was like, dude, what the heck were you thinking, man? Like, I was pissed at him. I'm like, bro, you got to get in there. You came all this way. Like, you're the actor. You got to get in there, dude. You got to follow up. You got to push to it. So I was disappointed that he didn't do that. I understand his perspective, though, too. I can't be too hard on him because there were other people around. He didn't want to be, greedy. But now I want my expeditioners, I want you to be greedy when you come out there, Paul. I want you to push for your success. So it's very important for me that you get your nose in there and you step forward and you listen and you get that experience. Because if I see a Sasquatch again, that's the 276th time I've seen a Sasquatch, but you haven't. So, and Paul, your expedition is with a medical doctor, a high level, incredible kidney doctor who's an amazing dude, and his really cool brother. So really cool people coming out. These guys have been like had ridiculous success with Sasquatch on their last expedition. So many things, Paul. You know, I could go on for an hour. I want you to up level. I want you to connect. I want you to meet these people, Paul, because you're so close to them. And then as I go, as we leave there, if you can connect with Brian or Larry or Analia or Sandy or Ashley or somebody else that's out there, if you can build that connection, then that goes beyond me. And I freaking love that. I love that. Randy Brisson met John Bitternagel for the last years of John's life, and they became besties. I precipitated that relationship, and they never would have met and had this incredible collaboration for the last years of John's life. It so much made John happy because Randy has decades of incredible evidence, and John loved it. They just got along so well. They visited each other, became friends. For me to be able to do that, to create relationships beyond me, is I just love it, and so I want that too, right? So you can see, I could talk all day about how much I just there's so many things. So and you'll get out there. This is going to be an incredible expedition, Paul. I only take people out to Nia Bay that I've worked with before and I trust and are amazing people. It's a real privilege. You're. It's also one more thing. Last thing about Nia Bay is, Paul, when you go out there, anybody who goes out to Nia Bay, the Macaw people, go to their museum, meet the people. They are amazing. They're so amazing. And it just resonated in my heart. Like one of the most amazing group of native people. They've been there for so long. They're so passionate and in love with that gorgeous land. The history of their museum is absolutely spectacular. I've seen it every time I go, and I'll go back there, Paul. It'll be the 5th time I've been to that museum. It's probably about a 2-hour thing. We'll walk around, and an elder will guide us and talk to us and show passion about all these beautiful things in this incredible museum, the history of these people. And then we drop a bomb in with the Sasquatch angle, right? Because there's a history of that too. You'll literally like Brian does some guiding for me, and you see these old black and white pictures of native people. He looks like them. There's like his grandma's up there, and it's clearly enormous family resemblance. How cool is that? Like serious old black and white, like 1900, maybe 1800 pictures, and that's Brian's great grandma. And oh my God, I got to stop because I just Nia Bay is that much. I don't care. I don't care what people say. I've had encounters 4 times since 18 and 1978. Coon hunting in Ohio. That is so awesome. I care what you say, and I respect you, sir. I'm gonna tell you something because maybe he's never heard this before. This is user 412 blah blah blah, big giant number. I tell you, my friend. There's something special about you. If you've truly seen Sasquatch 4 times, there's something very special about you. I would tell you they're trying to talk to you. They're trying to meet you. There's something they want they want to build a connection with you. There's no way that could happen, and that's not a coincidence. You're literally getting visited by the most, as you've heard in this live show. You're being over and over again visited by the most incredible, spiritual, connected woodland beings, period. Like there's no arguing this. For those of you who don't believe in Sasquatch, give me some space. Because I know they exist. So many people on here know they exist. So technologically, we're the most advanced species on the planet. I'm not gonna argue that. Wilderness wise, like wilderness connected as an apex, we're apex technology. They're apex wilderness. Apex. You can't argue that because the best wilderness experts in the world go out and try to interact with them like I do, or even people have tried to hunt them, the best hunters in the world, and they fail, completely fail, right? Fall right on their face and don't succeed because they are superior to us in the wilderness. We can't verse them, even with our technology, with our incredibly advanced technology, at least the technology that I have. Of course, when it comes to government levels, I can't speak upon that, but thanks, Joe, on TikTok. I love you say I love your documentaries. Gratitude, my friend. Thank you so much. So, and the Chapman says, "Aren't they amazing?" Oh my God, right? And he makes some cool faces. Sasquatch are so. absolutely astonishingly amazing. When I was asked the question earlier, that I kind of got a little, I was like, woohoo! Someone says, you're so fortunate to be able to do this, to do the Sasquatch work, and that's why, because they're so absolutely astonishing and amazing. This species is just, they're so incredible. The more I learn about them, the more I'm just astonishingly impressed with their abilities and what they can do. So this is from the Chapman. Thank you very much, and I couldn't agree with you more. They're absolutely astonishing. And I love that I'm able to do this. So grateful. Can I ask your opinion about what an experience I had in mid Michigan? You can, this is from Politically Incorrect. You can ask me, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it here. I would suggest, if you have the question, do pose it. I bet you Ashley will be able to answer it for you, because she is amazing. The beard is back. Yes, Bigfoot Society. So, um, I, so people, all joking aside about the beard and stuff, there's a change. I'm different. Like, I'm going into these expeditions this year. I'm a different person. I've changed. I've up leveled. I've fallen deeper into a masculine state. Um, I'm falling deeper into a conservative state, old school. I've really fallen deeper into that in my heart. I'm learning to connect with nature in a very beautiful, deep way, and I'm changed. I'm different. You know, uh, the Todd standing from last year is not the same as this year, and I have to change. Otherwise, I'm just going to go do the same thing as last year and the year before. And I always change, but I feel a very significant change in me, and it's good. It's really good. Like, I guess I'm trying to not trying to, but less of a boy, more, of, I've had to make big sacrifices for this discovery. Even in this, I'll tell you guys this. This is an example. Is I used to be very, I used to be more goofy and funny and humorous. I love humor. I love to make people laugh. Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, the fact that Joe Rogan's a comedian, the people I just really respected. And I had to stop with the comedy stuff, stop with the funny. I couldn't put anything funny in my documentary, which really hurt my feelings. But I had to remove it because I'm a Sasquatch researcher first. You're asking, well, why doesn't make any sense? What Warner Brothers found is, when my movie had about 3 or 4 funny scenes. I was just little jokes I would do, little funny things. When they took it out, when they polled people after, people found my research to be more legitimate if there was no humor in it. I'm like, well, what does that mean? It's because I'm a more serious guy. If I'm a joking kind of funny guy, then they're like, maybe he's just joking about the Bigfoot footage. So I had to decide whether I was going to be a comedian and funny and allow that to be in my work or not. And the answer is, I had to take that out, and a little piece of me got cut out, and I had to sacrifice that. You have to make little sacrifices as you grow and change. And I feel like this year I'm making major sacrifices. I'm making major changes in my life. And I want to shift. Guys, I want to win. I like to win. I win a lot. I win when people see a Sasquatch. I win when we get new, incredible pieces of evidence. But I want to win bad. I want it bad. Like, I'm hungry for a win. Like, I have that fight in me. I've been a scrappy guy my whole life. I was a doorman in nightclubs because I could manage myself. I was a mixed martial artist before mixed martial arts. I was at the very first UFC, knew about a triangle that Horse Gracie used to finish his opponent. Like, I've always been scrappy and that kind of a personality. And I'm applying that to Sasquatch. I'm applying that to this research. I want it bad. Like, I want it. I feel it. I've I've had a lot of successes and a lot of failures. I guess a lot of attempts at success. No such thing as a failure. A lot of learning lessons. And I'm really, guys, I don't want to freaking keep doing the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm ready to, and that's who I am. I'm the grind. Like, I'll get out there, I'll kick some ass, I'll pain through it, I'll grind it out. You know, I have been very well trained by amazing human beings to just be one tough dude, get out there and do like the scariest, craziest thing. Let's go do that. And there are major changes in this research happening this year. Major changes, new things that I've never done before, really significant changes. And it's very powerful. And I want it. And I want it bad. Like, I'm hungry. I'm ambitious. I want you guys to know that about Todd Standing. I come off that, I'm nice and I'm fun and I like those kind of things. I'm good and friendly, but I have lots of backbone. I have like a hunger and a desire. I'm very ambitious, and I'm hungry to make this discovery go to the next level. I'm pissed off that we're just moving along gradually. I'll never forget looking at John Bernagel, filming him years and years ago before he passed away, and him saying something to the effect of, it'd be wonderful if we could make this discovery in my lifetime. And I looked him straight in the eye and I said, of course we will, John. I can see his passion. And I didn't make it. I failed him. And I'm not happy about it. I'm pissed. I don't like to lose. And I don't feel like I'm losing. I feel like I'm winning. I feel like I'm manifesting success. All of us that are in this cooperation are really winning. All these new people, all these new amazing human beings that are coming on board every year. We grow and grow and grow. Got a biologist from Scotland. I got the top neurosurgeon in the world from Russia. I've got veterinarians that are instructors that are coming out and teaching me things about the biology. Like, it's every year we grow, we expand, we get better, we learn, and I just want you guys to know that. Like, I'm hungry for this. And the beard represents some of that change, right? It's get back in there, get hungrier, get into the grind, you know, and yeah, I'm less of a crazy person. Like, I skydive, rock climbing, whitewater raft, kayaking, do the craziest stuff, on and on. And I want to apply all that bravery to this and this success, the success of this discovery process, because Diane Fossey and Jane Goodall were freaking brave, like so brave. And I want to be able to, I do those things and I push the limits and we're growing. And and we have, and it's also really important too. So I'm out there, doing the man stuff, being magical, but don't forget the Jane Goodall, Diane Fossey, and now Ashley Kay, who's out there being very feminine and adding femininity to our incredible cooperation. I'm very sad to announce that I'll do this, that Sonia Zohar, who I worked with, who was there when Jeff Meldrum saw Sasquatch with me, who had tremendous success with me, has passed away. Very unhappy to hear that, and it sucks. I just you guys, there's a documentary that she was in. It's a sitting down documentary. All these people are talking that Sonia was in. A Touch of Beauty or something. So she spoke in that. Her biggest success by far was with me, by far. I took her to Montana. We had really good success there. She had the best success with me in Radium and Nordegg, though, and just incredible success. It's very unfortunate that circumstances did not allow our colleague relationship to continue, and then she just didn't have success again. I find that kind of, I don't understand why people don't keep coming back. Where are you going? I just don't get it. I'm very grateful Survivor Man's doing a movie. Good. What are you gonna get footage? Not likely. Not unless he comes to Radium. He got freaking footage of Sasquatch in Radium in 3 days. So I would suspect if he came out here and dedicated a month to the Radium research area, which I would give him, he'll get new footage. He'll have new incredible stuff. If he doesn't do that, he's looking for a needle in a haystack. He's not going to find it. So the odds are against him. I wish him luck and success. But I've got a documentary coming out with new footage. There'll be new footage and new footage and new footage. Like, I'm just going to keep winning. And, I know the path. This is the way. So let me lead it, and we'll keep getting success, right? Let's see I got lots of questions here on YouTube. Are you aware of any Bigfoot sightseeing in Quebec? No. I don't have a Discovering Bigfoot Research Center there. I would like to. I've tried to get stuff going in Quebec, especially along the coast. There's native groups up there that are really cool people, but no. So Willie Dot and Betty Don't. Do you think the large male Sasquatch do the most traveling while the seasons change? Sort of like a scout for habitat for families? Oh, see, you have to understand, every Sasquatch and every ecology is going to do different things. And then individuals will do different things. So each Sasquatch is a completely different individual that is so brilliant and amazing and going to want to do different things. So adhering, that'll happen. What you're saying will happen, but is it a regular thing? No, you can't count on that. You can't. There's conservative Sasquatch that never leave their habitat. There's Sasquatch that'll travel all over the place. There's a male that's going to go down to Alabama from Montana, and there's a female that's going to come from Florida and go up to Saskatchewan. They're just they're going to be so diverse, so expansive in what they do, so next level, brilliant. You can't. It's not going to be possible for us to bears do this and a bear every year will travel this way and do that. The patterns are far less when you have an intellectual being that are so intelligent and so connected, and that intellect and those abilities that they have that are so superior to even a bear are going to give them, because Sasquatch cooperate. They live in troops, tribes, communities, whatever you want to call it, right? So that's powerful. They have little gatherings for sure, no doubt about it. I believe the powwows that the natives do was taught to them by the Sasquatch. I have clear evidence they do like these gatherings together. Bears don't do that. Mountain lions, wolves don't do. You know what I mean? These animals, as amazing as they are, they're incredible survivors. They don't do that stuff. So many advantages that a Sasquatch have that you can't just patch a thing to them like that. So what you'll have to do is, if you believe that's happening, you'll have to figure that out for yourself. I thought you were the Undertaker for a quick second. That's a great compliment. I love the Undertaker. So for free, oh yeah, for a free Sasquatch photo. So if you send me an email at discoveringbigfoot@gmail.com, you get a photo. If you come on board on Patreon for $15 a month, you get the collection of photos, and every month there's new stuff coming. Somebody was upset. Somebody that joined my Patreon on February the 15th hasn't yet got the Jane collection, and hasn't yet. So she hasn't got the February collection because I sent that out on the 15th, and she hasn't got the March collection because I'm sending that on the 15th. So she's right in between. So I'm going to give her the February collection and the March collection around the 15th, middle of the month, is when I'm going to be posting all this stuff out. So Royal, I'm going to put you on that list. Andy, you're going to get that list of photographs and stuff. In return for that, Andy and Royal and you know my other supporters on here, I would love to see you guys frame them up in cool ways and send me pictures of up in your office or something if you don't mind. So that's the cost, guys, because Andy and Royal and a couple other amazing people here on YouTube specifically that have been supporters of mine for years, so long. That's what I ask of you guys. Go do something cool with them. Put them in, make branch frames or wood frames or something. Do something cool with it. You guys are amazing, smart, intelligent people, and I expect a lot from you guys. So go impress me, inspire me, do something cool with them. So, and again, when Ashley's answering stuff on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen, just I don't know, I don't know anybody beyond like maybe my sister or my son that knows me better than Ashley. So, and she's boots on the ground out there. So just trust her when she says things. And then Andy, Royal, I haven't scrolled through to see who else is on YouTube, but those guys will answer questions too. And I appreciate you guys answering questions because you guys know so much about me. You've seen so many shows. So while camping during a calm weather night, 5 times through the night. Oh, this is politically incorrect talking about a Sasquatch encounter. Holy crap. Good for you. Must be something special about you. Congratulations. Todd, you were the first to convince me that they're real. Thank you. Thanks, Mike. I'm honored. Really, truly. It's an honor. I got to say, there's got to be tens of thousands of people out there that have seen my stuff, looked at what I've done, listened to what I have to say, take a minute and actually listen to what I say, and have been like, man, this is very, very convincing, right? So people are shallow. That's why I don't do YouTube. I'm not photogenic or business-minded, sad. That's okay. And don't, Josh, a lot of good people out there. I know there's some ones that, let me tell you this is a philosophy I have, and I have to remind myself of this once in a while. For all the haters that I have, I literally don't have time to thank all the incredible people that are even on here today that support me and help me. I don't have time to individually go, oh, thank you so much, I appreciate your help. I don't have time to thank all the good people that support me, even in the smallest ways, by just watching my videos and propagating that stuff. Why would I spend a second with these arrogant, closed-minded people that are just, their perspectives are pathetic. They say the dumbest things, and then it gets traction. And am I really worried about that? No. If you think I look identical to these Sasquatch, then go get on that bus with those people that think those preposterous things. You know, They don't even see their own hypocrisy. They'll tell me, listen to this, guys. This is regularly goes on with me. They'll tell me that all my Sasquatch, why do they look so different? They do. They look quite different. Their body shapes and stuff, there's real similarities. But Jane's a female who was small when I filmed her. Kubota is an older male who is, not as big and a little off looking. And then Jake's a big, huge, dominant male. So that's why they look different, because they're different shapes. And one's a male, one's a female. It's just, they're different. But the people will say that. They'll go, why do your Sasquatch look so different? And then they'll say, well, those are all clearly my face. So make up your mind. You don't even see your hypocrisy. And then when I provide evidence, this is what really we have to acknowledge. So Thinker Thunker, the twit moron that he is, he's a moron. Half of his reviews are so bad, I can't even comment on him, because he's literally just, he's in his basement eating paste. He's a moron. I have no respect for the man, because every day people are like, oh, your head's in it. So he does an idiotic, completely moronic morphing of my head into a Sasquatch. Just idiotic, like on 100 ways. And he literally go, my evidence is so incredible, it would hold up in a court of law. You better pray to God, Thinker Thunker, that Netflix doesn't pick up my next documentary. But be thankful they didn't, because they were going to sue you for everything you own, because they were going to take you up on that challenge. Your stuff is garbage. Like, you don't have the fundamental nothing of a first-year art student when it comes to proportions of human beings. So, but that gets millions of views. Then I do a legitimate, real review showing how the proportions of the Sasquatch are completely non-human. The head of the Sasquatch, like Jake's head, wouldn't even fit in this screen right now. Literally, his mouth was that big. And I prove it beyond any doubt, plus or minus, let's say, a quarter inch. I'm proving that his mouth is, so his mouth is either this big or this big, right? And then they say that's my mouth. So, but mine doesn't get any traction. Mine gets 100,000 views. He gets millions of views. And then every day I have to listen to the comments, these moronic things. But again, just, it is what it is. That's what we have to go through. This is our time to get our butts kicked a little bit. And, it is what it is. So most people are not going out to the wilderness. Most people are not connecting to nature. Most people think the idea of Sasquatch being real is preposterous. They're very disrespectful about it. Like, what's going on with TikTok? Spinning now. What? Oh no. Oh, it's just 1 second, guys. What? Oh, just 1 second. TikTok is going to end. I got to fix it. So we're going to cut me off on TikTok because of inactivity. I got to scroll once in a while. But anyway, these are the dark waters we have to navigate, and it's par for the course. At least I'm not going to jail like Galileo did for postulating incredible new discoveries that we now know are true. So it's pretty minor. What Bob Gimlin went through was way worse than what I'll ever do. So I actually feel like these times are better suited. At least they were back in the 2000s. Things are getting a little crazy right now at times. But yeah, it's I think they're good times. Hello, Todd and chat. Todd, do you think Bigfoot are modern day cavemen? Absolutely not. No, they're not. I'm astonished that they can breed with human beings. This is in the DNA. Don't get mad at me. They can breed with human beings and produce viable offspring. That doesn't make sense to me. That's like a Chihuahua breeding with a Border Collie, or maybe a Jack Russell breeding with. Is that good proportions? Yeah, it'd almost be like a Jack Russell breeding with a Border Collie. Because Sasquatch are only 3 feet taller than me, but they outweigh me by, what is that, 4 times? So if a Jack Russell was 20 pounds and it bred with a dog that was 80 pounds, then that would be in fact, no, it would be, if a male Jack Russell was 20 pounds, let's say I'm 200 pounds, well, I'm over 200 pounds, but, and then the Sasquatch was around 1,000 pounds, so it'd be like a 100-pound dog breeding with a 20-pound dog. That doesn't look healthy to me, but they do. They can. But cavemen, no. They're so adapted. I don't even like putting the term men in with them. They're just such an incredible species, and I feel like people, human beings, are so. Oops, what's going on here? Something just happened. I don't even like putting people in the same criteria as them. They're just so different, and it sucks that they can breed with us, but and produce viable offspring, because that's going to damage their species, not ours. So, maintenance worker says the weather is good. Things are starting. So this is Brian, one of the elders from Nia Bay. Thank you very much for tuning in today, Brian. He says the weather is good. Things are starting to grow. Going out to feel my way around to see if I can get something to work with. I know you're coming out soon. Yeah, it's April. End of April. I'm coming out. Didn't I send you a date? I'm so irresponsible about things. I just get like so much stuff to do. And I get a little behind, but Brian just knows I'm coming out every year for the rest of my life. I'm bringing my children, Brian. Isn't that cool? That is so cool. First year ever. Thanks to James coming out, I get to bring my children, and it's just so amazing. Politically incorrect on TikTok says trees crash down around my friend and I. That's a good sign. Um, Ty Chapman says, I'd love to go out with you and experience them. But apply, you know, you never know what can happen. Uh, discoveringbigfoot.org is my website. That's where you can go and look and check out the page. Don't just apply, have a read through, figure out what's going on. Todd, contact Jane Goodall, send her your Todd, contact Jane Goodall, send her your documentary and ask her for your insights, maybe a future interview with her. So you guys don't know this, so I'll tell you, I really appreciate what you're doing with Jane Goodall, and I will try that. What happened though is I had access to her before, real access. She saw my stuff and wanted to talk to me, but she has handlers, and she is working like with every inch of everything she has, devoted to her Roots and Shoots program, the preservation of chimpanzees and people together in Africa. And she's got so much work to do, and she's elderly, and it's hard for her to do what she has to do. She has a million speaking engagements and blah blah blah, and all this work that she has to do, and she has a very limited time left. I hate to say it. So her handlers said, "Can you just give her respect to let her do this stuff? We're really not interested in attaching to Sasquatch. She's very passionate about it. She thinks it's a very exciting possibility, and she believes that they likely do exist. So I will try that thing again. But in my experience, her handlers, they'll probably it's got to be she understands she has handlers, the people that take care of her, and block for her and stuff. I have Phil, I have Ashley, I have people that do the same thing for me. But yeah, just understand that about her, and I really respect what her handlers had to say. How it's like we just don't want to do this. We don't want to. It's just not. We're not going to allow for it, and it's all good. I might get canceled on TikTok, guys. So I don't know what's going on here. It's upset that I'm not doing more stuff here. Thanks for doing that, Royal, and we'll see what happens. You never know, right? Josh Taft. It's very obvious you were harassed up northern. VT cooker was tossed in the yard and Gam taken. Nobody's believing me. It's a little choppy with what you're saying there, Josh. I don't know what this app. I'm having a little trouble reading your things there. Thinker Thinker is talking smack again. He's an armchair researcher, Todd. It really, is he talking smack about me again? I thought he'd leave me alone. Anyway, whatever. He can. He does. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. Having a conversation isn't it? Having a conversation in a strange language. Politically incorrect. You spoke to the Sasquatch. We're going to southeast Oklahoma before long hunting. Do you think we will ever come this far? Do you think you ever come that far south? I love Oklahoma, man. I have Oklahomies. I keep getting stuff, and I'm sure there's Sasquatch in Oklahoma based on what I've seen from amazing people. So I think Oklahoma would be like in my top 10 to start a Discovering Bigfoot Research Center there. So if I had 10 of them, which is very reasonable and very doable, Oklahoma would be in that for sure. Just because of the people and stuff. So Joey says Detroit Lake, probably assuming that there's Sasquatch out there. K Savage, I'm so over Thinker Thunker. I guess I have to go let him know. Guys, don't be hating on him and stuff. I'd like him to stay away from me. I'll stay away from him. So he'll never go out and do anything. He'll never go to shows, or he'll never go to conferences. He'll never get out there in the world. I just don't. I don't know if somebody like that can realize how they're just flapping their mouth and acting all like they're that in a bag of chips can damage and be like. Do you guys ever watch Harry Potter? Just a show like Harry Potter as an example, The Matrix. There's bad stuff out there, and you literally become the bad people that are calling Harry Potter a liar. And I know this might be a strange. I watched that show though. I'm like, that is so close to real life. Like I deal with that crap people that hate on you and call you a liar and then they realize you're telling the truth, right? Does he know he's one of those douchebags like in the movie that when you watch the movie you go, what an ass? He's one of those guys. Like, what an ass. And it actually bothers me even more that he tries to come off as this nice guy. Like, he looks at some of my footage and goes, oh, it's so nice and I think this is real, but that's fake. Shut your mouth. Like, you don't call this real, this fake. Like, you're trying to save face in your own little weak, pathetic mind. Let me tell you something, thinker, thunker, and people like that. If you're versing me, you're against me. That's the way you are. Period. And you're gonna lose because I'm making this. You can't even take me out of the equation. It doesn't matter who. I am literally the heavyweight champion of the discovery of Bigfoot / Sasquatch. If anybody else does it, I win. Anybody in the whole world comes forward, Bobo comes back with the Sasquatch, they're having a beer together, chilled out, I win because they're gonna be everybody look and go, man, this guy's been doing this for 10 plus years, over a decade, nearly 20 years. All this stuff is real. Everything he's been saying is real. Everything he's been teaching is real. All the people that he's been taking out, it's real. So I win if anybody else proves they're real. And then if I prove they're real, I win. And they do exist. So this is going to happen. So I can't lose. I can't. And there's literally nobody in the industry. You know, if Matt Moneymaker, who's done a lot, I have nothing to do with the man. I have no appreciation for him really, but he's done a lot. But even if he proved Bigfoot's real, I still win. Because where did he ever get? He walks around with the Patterson footage. You don't have any photos. You don't have any videos. You never took anybody to show them the Sasquatch. I could go on all day about what I've done that you will never accomplish. So, and if you get to that point where you get some profound video or evidence that proves Sasquatch is real, it's going to come back to me. I'm the one that have biologists, wildlife biologists that have taken out. These people can go back into the system and help the discovery process happen effectively, efficiently within the fish and wildlife construct. So that's why, that's the way it is. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. But that's the truth. Those are the facts. That's the reality of this. Have a nice day. I actually did significant overtime today. 6.2 likes, 6.2 thousand likes on TikTok. Oh my goodness. So thank you very much, Ashley and Andy, and James and Paul and Royal for all helping out in the thing there, in the comments sections. I can do no more stuff. I have to go back and go be a dad for a bit. Thank you very much for tuning into my live show. So I apologize. The video that I was going to put up on Sunday did not precipitate yet, but there'll be more videos, more reviews, more proof of Sasquatch coming. I will never stop doing this. I feel like a young man, maybe a little weathered, been through some hard times, been through some crazy stuff out there, but I'm very fit. I'm very strong. Expeditions are all going to be so amazing this year. I've got 12 of them planned this year, 12 weeks, 12 separate 1 week long expeditions, all boots on the ground. The discovery process is moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, and be very excited about it because we're going to make this happen with your help. So I'm very grateful for your assistance. Take care. Bye for now.